Hello friends. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the flow arrangements in heat exchangers, right? So there are different heat exchangers. There are different types of heat exchanger on the basis of different parameters. But that classification of heat exchanger, we are going to discuss in the next lecture. Before that, we have to discuss about the flow arrangements. Flow arrangements in heat exchanger. So we know about the heat exchanger, the equipment which exchange the heat. The purpose may be heating, cooling, vaporization, condensation, etc. And what are the flow arrangements in that heat exchangers? What are the possibilities of flow arrangement in that heat exchanger? So in the energy balance, we have discussed about the in and out, that is hot fluid in, hot fluid out, cold fluid in and cold fluid out. Like that, the direction of the hot fluid and cold fluid, that may be parallel, that may be counter, that may be cross. So what exactly that? So depending on that flow arrangement, there are three basic flow arrangements. So the first is parallel flow arrangement. It is also called as co-current. Then counter current, and third one is cross. The basic concept or the fundamental of this flow arrangement is, that is simple one. What exactly the parallel flow or co-current arrangement? So when the hot fluid is flowing in this direction and the cold fluid is also flowing in the same direction. So when these both the fluid are parallel to each other, then it is called as co-current or parallel type heat exchanger, right? When if one of the fluid is flowing in this direction and if the other fluid is flowing opposite to that fluid, then it is called as counter current flow heat exchanger. So counter current means opposite. So that may be like this or that may be like this, but the fluids must flow in a opposite direction. If the fluids are flowing cross to each other, then it is called as cross flow heat exchanger. So we can understand on the basis of the direction of the fluid, these classification of heat exchanger is there. So heat exchanger is classified on the basis of this flow arrangement, and the classification is simple, that is co-current, counter current and cross. So if the both the fluid are parallel to each other, then it is co-current arrangement. If they are in opposite direction, then it is counter current, and if they are cross to each other, then it is called as cross flow. In the industry, normally, if you observe the data, then there are counter current and co-current fashion heat exchangers are mostly used. So in that case also, if you observe the performance of this co-current and counter current arrangement, the experimental data or historical data clearly proves that the counter current arrangement type in the heat exchanger is more efficient than the co-current. So generally when we are talking about the flow arrangement in heat exchanger, generally industrial person will prefer this counter current arrangement. The reason behind this counter current arrangement is that the temperature difference and log mean temperature difference and the rate of heat transfer is more in this counter current arrangement, and that is why they normally prefer this counter current arrangement. So how it is to prove. So for that purpose, we just take the or compare this co-current and counter-current element. So if I consider this co-current, and if I consider this as counter-current, so the simple phenomena, you can draw the schematic for this purpose, or you can simply show that direction of the fluid. Say for example, for the schematic diagram, you can refer this double pipe heat exchanger or shell and tube heat exchanger, and you can draw the schematic like this, right? So this is the inner part and this is the outer part, right? So I can show the direction of one of the fluid. Say for example, if it is hot fluid. So hot fluid is flowing in this direction, and in the similar manner, if the cold fluid is flowing outside the tube, it is tube, so please consider that it is a cylindrical shape, and in the two dimensional we can't write this as a cylinder. So if you want to imagine that the exact cylinder, then you can draw the side view. So this is inside and this is outside. So on the outside, the cold fluid is also flowing in the same direction as the hot fluid. So if the both the fluids are in the same direction, then it is called as co-current. If the direction of the fluid are is opposite, then we can draw again the same schematic, but the direction of the fluid should be opposite. So this is the hot fluid, and second one is cold fluid. So this is the cold fluid. Now in this case, the cold fluid and hot fluid are in opposite direction, and that is why it is called as counter current flow heat exchange, right? So on the basis of this flow, we can draw the temperature curve or temperature profile. So what is that temperature profile? We have to consider the y-axis and x-axis. On the x-axis, the length of the heat exchanger, and on the y-axis, temperature. Now in the co-current case, if you consider the inlet of hot fluid, then you can observe the flow of the hot fluid in the diagram like this. What exactly it indicates? It is a inlet, it is an outlet. So the hot fluid removes the heat, so the temperature is decreasing, right? And in case of cold fluid, if you observe the temperature profile, so this is TC1 and this is TC2. So we know that as per as the energy balance equation is there, as per as the basics of heat exchanger is there, hot fluid loses the heat, that is why temperature is decreasing, and cold fluid gains the heat, that is why the temperature is increasing. So we can put this in terms of graph, and it is called as temperature profile, right? If you draw the same temperature profile for the counter current case, then what is the difference? for the same temperature conditions, for the same inlet outlet condition, then what will be the difference? So in this case, in the counter current case, you can observe that the difference between these temperatures throughout the length of heat exchanger is near about same. And for this co-current, if you observe, the temperature difference initially is more as compared to the temperature difference at the end. So initially, if the temperature difference is more, so obviously the rate of heat transfer is more initially in the co-current heat exchanger. But at the end of heat exchanger, the rate of heat transfer is low because the temperature difference is low. And we know that Q is equal to delta T by R. So rate of heat transfer is the ratio of temperature difference to the resistance. And if the temperature difference is more, so obviously the rate of heat transfer is more. If the temperature difference is low, so obviously the rate of heat transfer is also low. So in the co-current case, we can clearly mention that initially the temperature difference is more, so the rate of heat transfer is more, and at the end it is low temperature difference, so the Q value is also at the lower side. But in the counter current case, if you observe, the temperature difference along the length of heat exchanger is near about same. It means the rate of heat transfer is near about same throughout the length of heat exchanger, throughout the heat exchanger, right? So on the basis of this, again, we can mention that the values or the performance parameter, that is heat transfer coefficient, rate of heat transfer, temperature difference, log mean temperature difference. So all these parameters for the co-current case is lower as compared to the counter current case. So as the temperature difference is changed in the co-current side and it is near about constant. So on the basis of this temperature difference, again, here the temperature difference values as well as the rate of heat transfer as well as the heat transfer coefficient is lesser side. But what is this log mean temperature difference? So this log mean temperature difference is nothing but the LMTD value. It is denoted by the simple formula, that is LMTD or delta TLM. It is delta T2 minus delta T1 upon ln of delta T2 by delta T1. So this is the formula for log mean temperature difference. It is indicated by delta T suffix Lm. So Lm is nothing but the log mean, and temperature difference we know that delta T value, right? So it is the ratio of difference in temperature differences to the ratio of temperature differences. If you mention here delta T2, then you have to mention delta T2 in a numerical, in a numerator, right? So ln of delta T2 first. If you mention this delta T1 minus delta T2, then you have to write this ln of delta T1 upon delta T2. Answer is one and the same. But what are these delta T1 and delta T2 values? So this temperature difference is nothing but the delta T1. This temperature difference is nothing but the delta T2. In the similar way, for the co-current case also, this nothing but the delta T1 and it is delta T2. So mathematically, TH1 minus TC1 is nothing but the delta T1. TH2 minus TC2 is delta T2. In a similar way, TH2 minus TC1. Now the parameters are changed because it is opposite direction, right? So this delta T1 and this delta T1 is different because here the inlet temperature differences is delta T1. As it is TH1, it is TC1. But for this case, it is one of the temperature is outlet and one of the temperature is inlet of cold fluid. So TH2 minus TC1 is delta T1. And for this case, TH1 minus TC2 is the delta T2. So whatever the numbers are given in the numerical, on the basis of these numbers or the temperatures, we have to calculate this delta T1, delta T2 value, and depending on the condition, whether they have mentioned that it is for co-current case, whether it is a counter current flow, or if they haven't mentioned anything, then we have to consider or assume something like counter current flow. And on the basis of this counter current flow, we can calculate the delta T1 and delta T2 values. And on the basis of this delta T1 and delta T2 value, we can calculate this LMTD, log mean temperature difference. So obviously, all the values like LMTD values is greater in the counter current, and it is found experimentally. So on the basis of numericals also, we can calculate this LMTD value and compare the values of co-current as well as counter current, and we obviously found that the counter current flow LMTD value is more, the rate of heat transfer in the counter current flow is more, and likewise it means if they ask whether we have to adopt the counter current flow or co-current flow, before calculation we know that we should adopt the counter current flow because it is already studied by the scientists that LMTD, rate of heat transfer coefficient, all the values are more in the counter current flow, right? So we know the answer that counter current flow is better than the co-current, so we should adopt the counter current flow. But how and what basis we have to adopt this counter current flow? So the one of the basis is simple, that is LMTD calculations. So we have to calculate that LMTD, and we have to calculate this delta T1, delta T2 values, and on the basis of that we have to calculate this LMTD, and in the answer, in the conclusion, we can show that the LMTD value of counter current flow is this much and LMTD value of co-current is this much, and on the basis of these values we have to adopt the counter current flow as LMTD is more. Because if you know the simple calculation as a rate of heat transfer, so Q can be calculated in terms of UA delta TLM. We know the rate of heat transfer calculations on the basis of enthalpy, that is M delta H, then on the basis of sensible heat, that is MCP delta T, and on the basis of latent heat, that is M lambda. Now this is the one of the formula that is used for the delta TLM calculations. So Q is equal to UA delta TLM. Now this delta TLM value can be calculated with the help of this formula, that is delta T2 minus delta T1 upon ln of delta T2 by delta T1. Now if you want to know the unknown from the all parameters, then we can adopt, use this formula as well as LMTD formula, this delta T1 formula, delta T2 formula, whatever it may be. So we should know all these formulas before going to calculate the unknown parameter, right? So on the basis of this co-current counter current comparison, then on the basis of this temperature differences, LMTD and Q calculation, we can calculate the unknown value from the numerical, right? Now one point I haven't mentioned you, that when you know the temperature range, it is called as this TC1 to TC2. These are the two different temperatures but of same fluid, right? Then it is called as range. So technically it is called as range, And this delta T1 and this delta T2 values, that may be for co-current, that may be for counter current, it is called as approach, right? So if the temperature are of the same fluid, so that may be TH1 to TH2, that may be TC1 to TC2. If these temperatures are there, then it is called as range of temperature. And if the temperature differences are from this temperature profile or on the basis of this fundamental, then this value of TH2 minus TC2, so it is called as approach. Then TH1 minus TC1, that is delta T1, it is also called as approach. So the approaches are the terminal temperature differences of the cold and hot fluid, and this range is nothing but the starting or inlet and outlet temperatures of the same fluid. So these are the definitions of range and approaches as far as this heat transfer and LMTD calculation is concerned.